All right, let's tackle one of the things that trips people up the most with complex numbers: division. You know the feeling, right? You see a fraction with an imaginary number on the bottom, and your brain just kind of freezes. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place. We're going to break this down and make it easy.
So what is the big deal anyway? Well, math has some rules that are, absolutely set in stone. And when we're talking about fractions and complex numbers, there's one major rule you just can't break. And this is it, right here. It's the no I allowed rule for the bottom of a fraction. This isn't just about making your work look neat. It's a fundamental rule of simplifying. If you leave that I in the denominator on a test, you are going to lose points. Simple as that.
Okay, so that's the puzzle, isn't it? How do we kick that I out of the denominator without totally changing what the fraction is worth? There has to be a way to do it.
Well, luckily for us, mathematics has this super elegant, really cool tool that was basically invented for this exact job. I like to call it the conjugate eraser, and it is absolutely the hero of our story today.
So what is this magic eraser? It's something called the conjugate. And the concept is incredibly simple. You just take your complex number and you flip the sign right in the middle. That's literally it.
Let's look at a quick example to make it crystal clear. If our number is 3 minus 4i, its conjugate is just 3 plus 4i. See that? All we did was change the minus to a plus. This simple little flip is the entire key.
And here's where the superpower comes in. When you multiply a complex number by its conjugate, something amazing happens. The imaginary parts, all the terms with I, they completely cancel each other out. Poof, they just vanish, leaving you with one single, clean, real number. And that's why it's our perfect eraser.
All right, enough theory. That's all well and good, but let's actually put our conjugate eraser to work and see how this method plays out with a real problem.
The whole process is really just two simple steps. First, you figure out the conjugate of the number on the bottom. Step 2, you multiply both the top and the bottom of your fraction by that conjugate. And doing both is key, right? Because that's really just like multiplying by 1, which means we can erase the I without changing the fraction's value.
Okay, here we go. Here's our problem for today. We need to divide 5 minus 8i by 3 minus 4i. And right away you can see it, we've got that illegal I in the denominator. Time to grab our eraser.
So let's apply our method. The bottom is 3 minus 4i, so its conjugate is 3 plus 4i. That means we're going to multiply our whole original fraction by a new one, 3 plus 4i on the top and 3 plus 4i on the bottom. Now let's just zoom in on the denominator for a second, because this is where the magic really happens. We're multiplying 3 minus 4i by its conjugate. And check this out. When you do that, the middle terms with the I always cancel out, leaving you with just the first number squared plus the second number squared. So what's the result? Well, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, add them together, and you get 25. And look at that! A beautiful, clean, real number. The imaginary part is totally gone. The eraser worked perfectly.
Okay, the bottom is clean, mission accomplished there. Now we just have to deal with the top, the numerator. This is just a straight-up multiplication problem, and for this, we're going to use the good old FOIL method.
So let's run through it real quick. First, 5 times 3 is 15. Outer, 5 times 4i is 20i. Inner, minus 8i times 3 is minus 24i. And last, minus 8i times 4i is minus 32i squared.
And now we come to the other really important trick you have to remember with complex numbers. I squared is always equal to negative 1. This is so important because it means that our minus 32i squared term actually flips its sign and becomes a positive 32. Now we just have to do a little housekeeping. We combine the real parts. 15 plus 32 gives us 47. Then we combine the imaginary parts. 20i minus 24i gives us minus 4i. So our new numerator is 47 minus 4i.
We did it! We've got our new simplified numerator and our new real denominator. Let's put the pieces together and see our final answer.
So we just put our new top over our new bottom. That's 47 minus 4i all over 25. And there it is. The most important part, no I on the bottom. The problem is solved. Now, if you want to write this in the official standard form for a complex number, you just split the fraction into two parts. So you get 47 over 25 for the real part, minus 4 over 25 times I for the imaginary part. That is a perfect exam-ready answer.
And honestly, division really is the ultimate test here. It pulls together everything: multiplication, the conjugate, and simplifying I squared.
If you could follow along and see how we got from that messy starting fraction to this clean answer, you are in great shape.
So we'll leave you with this little thought experiment. We found the conjugate eraser for this very specific problem. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What other corners of math have their own special, elegant tools designed to solve one particular tricky problem? It's a really cool way to think about how math is built.